Dear students, I am S. Thirunavukarasu, working as the Associate Professor in the Department of Information Technology. I would like to explain about the topic of transport layer in data communication and computer networks. So first of all, you know about what is transport layer. The transport layer is a fourth layer in the OSI model. The main role of the transport layer is to provide the communication services into various applications running on different hosts, which also provides the logical communications into destination system. So various applications process also running on the destination systems. The transport layer provides the multiplexing and demultiplexing services. The transport layer uses the TCP and UDP protocol for making the communication from client to servers. So which has used two protocols to transmit the data from client to servers. So from this diagram, the application layer and the transport layer and the internet layers are there. So each application layer directly connected with the transport layer by using TCP and UDP protocols. The transport layers are directly connected with internet layers by using IP protocols. So each application layer read and write the data from transport layer over the TCP and UDP protocols. The transport layer provides various services. Those services are end-to-end delivery, addressing, reliable delivery, flow control, and multiplexing. So here given as a diagram for transport layer services, end-to-end delivery, addressing, reliable delivery, flow control, and multiplexing. So let me explain one by one. So end-to-end delivery. So end-to-end delivery means the entire message will be transmitted into end system. It will not use any intermediate layer to transmit the sending data into destination. So it has used two protocols, TCP and UDP, to transmit the entire message into destination. So next, addressing. So when you go for data link layer, it will choose the protocol for transmit the data. So before transmitting the data, the sending address will be stored in router. Then forward the address into destinations. So in transport layer, directly making the communications. So based on the address, the client will transmit the entire message into destinations. It will not store the address in the any intermediate levels. So directly transmit the data into destinations. Then reliable delivery. The transport layer provides the reliable delivery. So reliable delivery means it will send without any error or without any congestions between the networks. The destination will ask the client machines. So once again, you need to submit the same message for the missing of packet, for the congestions, etc. So next, flow control. If receiver gets the more amount of packets from the client machines, the receiver will ask the sender. So once again transmit the same packet. So it has also used the multiplexings. So multiplexing and demultiplexing based services provided by transport layers. So our reliable delivery provides various services, error control, sequence control, and loss control, and duplication controls. So normally we are trying to transmit the data or segments from source to destination. It may create some errors between the networks. To overcome this problem, our transport layer provides the error control mechanism or error control techniques to rectify the error during the transmission from source to destination. Sequence control. The transport layer ensures our sending packets are correctly reached or not into destinations. Then loss control. So when you submit the packet from source to destination, so based on the congestion or based on the network level, some packet will be lost. To rectify this type of lost packet or lost data over the network, our transport layer provides the loss control technique. So when you apply this one, it will rectify the losing packet over the networks. And also avoid the duplication packet from source to destinations. So when you submit the data from source to destination, so various duplication packet will be created at the destination. To rectify this one, the transport layer provides the duplication control services over the networks. So error controls, the error not checked at the data link layer, error checked at the data link layers. So when we take the data link layer, the error will be checked at the middle of the networks or intermediate layer or between the networks. So when we take the transport layer, it will not check the error in intermediate level. Directly, it will make the communication from source to destinations. So our local system into end systems. So it will not check any intermediate level error processing. But data link layer will check the error, whether the errors are created or not between the node. So which one is this is the main difference between data link layer and transport layer. The transport layer will get the bulk of data from data link layer. So after getting the data from data link layer, the transport layer split the packet into set of packets. Split the packet into individual packets. Split the bulk of packets into individual packets. So after split the individual packet from bulk of packet, this will assign the individual sequence number for individual packets. So why do assign the sequence number for individual packets? So after submit the separated packet into destination, identification is very difficult. So when you assign the sequence number into individual packet, so everyone can easily identify the packet. So after that, the packet will be transferred into network layer by using the IP protocol. By using the IP protocol. So the transport layer already, as I said, the transport layer provides the multiplexing and demultiplexing services. So in the multiplexing services, the various transport layer uses the single network. The various transport layer provide the various services or various try to submit the various packet into single networks. So this is the multiplexing method. So which is divided into two categories, upward multiplexing and downward multiplexing. So in the upward multiplexing uses various transport layer to transmit the each packet into individual networks. Each transport layer uses the single link or single path to transmit the packet into end system. So our second category is download multiplexing. In download multiplexing, the transport layer uses the single layer or single node, but it will not choose the single path. It will not choose the single path. It will choose the various path. That means the single data will be transmitted over the various path. Over the various path. So in the upward multiplexing, different data or different packets will be transmitted into single path. So in the downward multiplexing, submit the individual packet into various paths. The individual packets are submitted into various paths. Finally, these paths are communicate with individual destination or individual server machines. So addressing. To transmit the various layers of data into single networks. So it has used various layers. These layers are transport layer, network layer, data link layer, physical layers. So which will use the beer communications. So what is beer to beer network? It will not use the any intermediate layer to transmit the packet from source to destination. So similar as the transport layer. The transport layer will not use any intermediate node to send the packet into destination. So similar as the beer-to-beer communications. In beer-to-beer communication, suppose we are having n number of nodes. Suppose if you want to submit the packet from node 1 to node 5, here node 1 acts as a client, node 5 acts as a server. They will not use any intermediate server to transmit the packet into destination. So instead of that, if you want to transmit the data from node 1 to node 6, node 1 acts as a client, node 6 acts as a server. Okay, so these layers needs to transmit the various packet by using single path. The transport layer protocols. The data link layer uses single protocol to transmit the packet. But transport layer uses either TCP or UDP protocols. So what is TCP? The TCP is a connection oriented protocol. TCP is a connection oriented protocol. So it uses three phases to transmit the packet. The first one is before need to transmit the packet from source to destination. First, they need to make the communications or establish the communication. So after made the connection from source to destination, then will transmit the packet. So after completing the transmission process from source to destination, definitely close the connections. Definitely close the connection between source to destinations. In UDP is a user datagram protocol. It is a connectionless protocol. UDP is a connectionless protocol. So it will not use any methods to transmit the packets. Just transmit the packet from source to destinations. It will not do any making the connections or close the connections. It will not do anything. So the compared to TCP, UDP is fast. It didn't use any connection process or close the connection, create the connection process or close the connection process. So one main difference is TCP and UDP. TCP will be wait for acknowledgement message from the server machines. So based on the acknowledgement message result, the TCP will forward the data. It will decide whether need to submit the same packet into destination or not. It will decide based on the acknowledgement message. UDP will not wait for any reply message by the server machine because it is a connectionless protocol. So IP protocol, internet protocol. So it has used in the network layer, network layers. So which are mainly used to get the packet from transport layer. Okay, so look at the diagram. So our left side included TCP or UDP, IP, data link, physical. So these layers are used the telnet client. In server side uses the telnet server. TCP or UDP IP protocol, data link, and physical layers. So look at the leftmost diagram. Here include source port address 16 bits, destination port address 16 bits, total length 16 bits, checksum 16 bits, and data. So our TCP protocol uses the 16 bits, but it allows a byte-based information from source to destinations. The TCP allow to transmit the byte-based informations. If you are submit some different types of data into destination, before make the transmission into destination, it will do the transaction process from one type into another types. The destination port also uses the 16-bit addresses. 16-bit addresses. The checksum also uses 16 bits. So checksum is nothing but which are mainly used to find out the error during the transmissions. This is one of the method or technology in the transport layers. So disadvantages of UDP protocol. What are the disadvantages of UDP protocol? UDP provides basic functions needed for the end-to-end delivery of your transmission. This is one of the main disadvantages. It will not use any intermediate level. No need to transmit the data into intermediate router or intermediate node, etc. It will directly transmit the packet into end systems. So it does not provide any sequencing or reordering, and does not specify the damaged packet. When reporting an errors, the UDP can discover that an error has occurred, but it does not specify which packet has been lost, as it does not contain an ID or sequence number of a particular data segment. By using transport layer, we can only identify the error packet. There is no possible to rectify the find out errors. Just see the error messages. It will not allow us to rectify the errors. The UDP provides basic functions needed for end-to-end delivery of a transmission. It does not provide any sequencing or reordering functions, and does not specify the damaged packet when reporting an error. The UDP can discover that an error has occurred, but it does not specify which packet has been lost, as it does not contain an ID or sequencing number of particular data segment. Features of TCP protocol. The TCP protocol provides various features which are stream data transfer, reliability, flow control, multiplexing, logical connections, full duplex. stream data transfer, which allows to transmit the sequence of data from source to destination on the networks. Reliability, which provides the reliable services, which allows to find out the errors when we transmit the packet from source to destinations. The flow control. If receiver gets the much packet apart from capacity of the link, it will ask to sender once again submit the same packet. So the multiplexing, already I told you about multiplexing. The transport layer provides the multiplexing and demultiplexing services, which are classified into two categories: upward multiplexing and downward multiplexing. Logical connections. So our end system will not use the physical connections. The transport layer provides the logical connections from client to end system, or one node to other end system nodes. The transport layer provides the full duplex. The full duplex means the more than one process running at the same time. The multiple transaction is possible. The sender submit the packet into receiver. At the same time, receiver submit the reply message into sender. The simultaneous process is possible. So which type of processing is called a full duplex. So difference between TCP and UDP. In TCP establishes a virtual circuit before transmitting the data. To submit the packet in sequence way. So when you assign the virtual circuit, we can easily submit the sequence of data. The UDP transmit the data directly to the destination computer without verifying whether the receiver is ready to receive or not. So it will not wait for the receiver, whether the receiver is ready or not to get the packet from source machines. The UDP will not wait for the receiver. Receiver will not time to receiver to getting the packet. So directly transmit the packet into receiver systems. TCP is a connection-oriented protocol. UDP is a connection-less protocol. So before try to transmit the packet into destination system, it needs to uses 3 steps. The first one is already, as I said, about 3 phases of TCP protocols. first make the connection from source to destination, then transmit the packet into destination, then close the connections. The UDP will not use any different steps to transmit the data from source to destinations. It will not wait for others. So directly transmit the packet. If the packet is generated, directly transmit the packet into destination. So in TCP, the compared to UDP, which is slow, speed is slow, UDP is high speed. Because it has used various steps. Reliability, compared to UDP, in TCP, it is a reliable protocol. Reliable protocol. It is an unreliable protocol. Reliable means it has used various methods or various mechanisms to find out the errors or find out the conjunctions or find out whether the sending packet is perfectly reached or not. And also applying the flow control, error control. It will check any duplicate packets are there or not. So TCP uses 20 bytes. Its header size is 20 bytes. But UDP uses 8 bytes. 8 bytes. The TCP waits for the acknowledgement message by the receiver. The UDP will not wait for the acknowledgement message by the receiver. So the TCP, it waits for the acknowledgement of data and it has the ability to resend the last packets. In UDP, it neither takes the acknowledgement nor it retransmit the damaged frames. So which will not allows to retransmit the lost packet or errored packet by the sender. By the senders. So the transport layer protocol uses the TCP and UDP protocols. So already as I said about TCP and UDP in transport layer, in data link layer uses the only one protocol. It may be a TCP protocol or UDP protocol. So whenever using the TCP protocol, which has used various methods or various steps to transmit the packet. So whenever using the UDP protocol, it will not use any phases or steps to transmit the packet. So let's assume we have the 3 layers: data link layer, transport layer, network layers. The transport layer wants to get the data from data link layers. The data link layer uses the any one protocol, either TCP or UDP. So after generate the request message by the user, the data link layer will forward the request message into transport layer by using any one protocol, either TCP or UDPs. So after received the packet by the data link layer, the transport layer need to forward the data into network layer. So to forward the network layer, to forward the data into network layer, it will use either any one protocol. It may be TCP or UDP. So if it is use the TCP, it may follow various steps to transmit the packet. So if it is use the TCP, first to make the connection from transport layer to network layer, then transmit the getting packet from data link layer, then close the connections. So if it is use the UDP protocol, it will not follow any steps or phases to transmit the packets. If it is use the UDP, they directly transmit the getting request packet by the data link layer, directly forward the request into network layer. The network layer needs to transmit the getting request message by the transport layer into end system. It should use the IP protocol. It should use the IP protocol. IP protocol is nothing but internet protocol. So this one is similar as the TCP protocol. This is also a connection oriented protocol. This is also a connection oriented protocol. So whenever using this protocol, the receiver can wait for the reply message by the receivers. So after getting over the reply message by the receiver, it will retransmit the same packet into destination. The destination will wait until getting the retransmission message by the sender. So to making this type of transaction, it has used sliding window protocol. Sliding window protocol. So by using sliding window protocol, we can easily get the acknowledgement message by the receivers. So before transmit the acknowledgement message by the receiver will put the one sequence number for the acknowledgement messages. For the identification of the packet. Identification of the packet. So when we transmit the acknowledgement message into center, the sending packet, the sending reply message will be lost. So after that, if they didn't apply the sequence number for acknowledgement message, they will not find out the missing packets. So to find out the missing packet, which is assigned the sequence number. So one more important service is sequence controls. Sequence controls. The center needs to transmit the sequence of information into destination. So to transmit the sequence information, it will follow the virtual circuits. It will apply the virtual circuit. So after applying the virtual circuit, we can easily transmit the sequence of packet into destination messages. So data link layer uses the any one protocol. Suppose data link layer wants to submit the data. So it has used the internal network. But transport layer uses the various networks. By using transport layer, you can able to transmit the set of information into other networks, from one network into other network. So there is no possible to transmit the data from one network into other network over the data link layers. So okay, students. So these are all the transport layer concepts. Thank you so much.